Hi guys, I'm Uncle Richie.
Yo, what up? JMoney's back.
And this is C10. And you're listening to the Uncle's Podcast.
We'll start if that's alright with you, bro. It's already going, hey. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Cool. Good day, everyone. Good day, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Uncle's Podcast. We're up to episode 80. On today's episode, we've got a very special guest, someone that I knew from a while ago and is doing some really good things. Representing the PNG Kumuls and playing currently in the Super League for Castleford Tigers, Kumul number 301, Liam Horne. Welcome to the podcast, Liam. How are you, bro?
Good, boys. Thank you for having me here. It's such an honour to be amongst you boys. What you're doing is amazing, and giving Papua New Guineans a platform to come on here and tell their stories. So, it's a pleasure to be here, and I can't wait to keep chatting with you boys.
No, but honestly, so that's the thing, hey. We wanted to start this podcast and reach out to people like yourself and other people that we had, like Millie, on the podcast previously, where shine that light on the PNG, amazing things that PNG individuals are doing, which we felt like no one was doing before. And obviously people have social media and stuff like that to do that, but this is more of that personal connection where you can jump on the podcast and have a chat to someone. So yeah, really, really good to have you, bro. Speaking of PNG, wanted to touch base a little bit about your PNG heritage. And for those that don't know, tell us a little bit about where you grew up, what province you're from, and sort of, how long you've been in Australia, if you've been living here most of your life.
Yeah, so I grew up in Port Moresby.
Yeah.
My dad was an electrician. He was working over in Lea Island, in the gold mine over there. My mum was working there too. So my grandparents are English, and they were living over there. My dad was over there too, and that's where my parents met. And then I was born in Port Moresby there in PNG.
Yes.
And I was there for about a year or two, and then I came down to Brisbane. Mm-hmm. And I lived there, I grew up there up until I was about 6, and I moved to Darwin. Up to the Darwin, yeah. So I was up there for about 5 or 6 years, and I moved back to Brisbane. And when I was 11 years old, and then, lived in Brisbane ever since. Yeah. And Mum's from Central Province. Yeah. He's from Hula and Gyro.
Yeah.
And my dad's he's an Aussie. Yeah. True blue Aussie.
No, that's so good. So you had some sort of experience living in Darwin and then coming back to Brisbane, and then you went to Wavell High School, for those that don't know, over in the north side.
Yeah, I went to Wavell, one of the best rugby league schools in all of Australia, I'd say.
Because they had that rugby league development program, hey, and that's where your love for sort of footy started, and
Well, it actually started back in Darwin.
Yeah, okay.
So back when I was I think I was 8 years old, my mate's mum took us to play baseball, signed us up to play. That was the first sport I played, and I didn't like that, so they signed me up to rugby union. Yeah, I didn't like that, and then they signed me up to rugby league at 8 years old, and that's when I first started playing rugby league. I was 8 years old, and I've just been playing ever since. But then, obviously, Wavell State High School, they've got a really good rugby league program there. Yeah. So I joined there year 8, and that's where my love for rugby really, came from. Because at that school, if you don't have certain grades, like effort and behaviour is not good, then you can't be in the rugby league program. So that really taught me, to focus on my education, and that's what I've been telling the kids back home in Papua New Guinea is that education's number one, and rugby league comes later. Because back home in PNG, everyone thinks that sports, the be all and end all, but you got to get your education first, and then rugby league will come. But when you're telling it to these kids here, they don't really understand because rugby league's everything to them. But I try to get that message through to everyone that education's more important than rugby league. Yeah, because not everyone's going to make it. And I didn't make it until I was 25 years old. Yeah, I only became professional when I was 25. Up until then, I still had a full-time job and was going to rugby league after work. So education is number one. Yeah,
no, that's amazing because you touched on that Wavell part too as well, and. After you finish high school, I know you, for those that don't know, you played for Norths for a little bit, and was that transition straight after high school, or so what did you do after high school, finding your feet?
So I was playing for the Aspie Devils when I first, came to Brisbane when I was 11, and then from there you transition into the Northern Broncos, which is with the North Devils. Yeah, yeah. It's 16, and that's where you play Cyril Connell. Yeah. So that's under 16s. So that's when I moved to Norths when I was under 16s, and I was playing there ever since. So, I played under 16, Cyril Connell, Mal Meninga, under 18s,
Yeah.
then under 20s, Colts,
Yeah.
and then into Q Cup. And then the whole time there, I was just doing odd jobs here and there,
Yeah.
sales jobs, just anything, warehousing jobs, young guns, containers, and then I decided, I think I was 21, I decided to electrician apprenticeship. So I did that for 4 years. I got qualified, and then shortly after that, that's when I went to England.
Yeah.
So it was pretty crazy.
Yeah. Touching on that North Devils experience, so you guys won a premiership with the. Did you guys beat Redcliffe Dolphins that year?
Dolphins.
Yeah.
Oh, no, Wynnum. We beat Wynnum the first year.
Yeah.
So that first year, I was in and out of BRL.
Yeah. Okay.
And I was supposed to play in the BRL grand final with the Panthers. And then a week before, the coach calls me up and says, "Hey, you're going to be playing in the grand final for Q Cup." And then I ended up, and then he put me on the field. I think it was maybe the first half, and I stayed on there the whole game. But that year, I played majority BRL, and then getting to play in a big game like that just really exposed me to that level of footy.
Yeah.
And then next year after that, we won that grand final against David Meaden. David Meaden was playing for
because he was playing for Broncos back then.
Yeah, I remember just bursting. I was like, wow, I can't believe I'm playing with against David Meaden. I couldn't believe it. And then Nane McDonald was on our team too.
Yeah,
he was our winger.
Yeah.
And then that next year, I played the whole year in Q Cup. And then we won that grand final.
Yeah, I was going to say, you guys did 2 years in a row.
We did back to back.
Yeah.
Against Redcliffe Dolphins.
Yeah.
So that was pretty good to be a part of that, that back to back, and then we went down and versed the Penrith Panthers.
Yeah,
your reserve grade team.
Yeah.
They smashed us.
Well, a lot of their players are now sort of into that Penrith team now in the NRL. Hey,
yeah, that team was awesome. They were just always at training. They were always opposing the Penrith team. The best in the world.
Yeah, yeah.
So they were that good. A lot of those players are now playing NRL.
Yeah.
Now, so. That was a good experience.
Yeah. No, that's awesome, eh? And then after all the North Devil stuff, and then how did the opportunity come to go over to Super League and play for Castleford?
Yeah, Castleford Tigers.
Yeah.
So it was 2023, maybe just towards the start of the year. I was actually at work. I was at work, and at this time I was like, I wasn't too sure if I was going to keep playing footy because it gets a bit too much when you're working full time and then you're playing semi-professional footy after work and stuff, and I just wasn't sure if I wanted to play rugby league anymore. I was getting to that stage. I was just thinking, should I keep playing or should I just give up and just keep being a Sparky?
Yeah.
And then I got a call from my manager, says that there's an opportunity over in England. Anyways, it was coming towards the end where I was about to sign the contract, and I was at work. It was on a Friday. And I remember I just signed it, and it was early in the morning, and I packed up all my tools and I just left. I didn't even tell the boss. I was like, I'm getting out of here, man. I'm done. So I just packed up my tools. I just left. I didn't even tell him I was leaving. And then went over there last year.
Yeah.
Went over at the back end of the year. I played about 6 games there.
Yeah.
And it was a really good experience, from playing in front of hundreds of people. And playing in front of thousands of people.
Yeah.
So it was a big transition to make, but it's been a really good experience so far.
Yeah. I was going to say, touching on that, because taking a big step and moving from here where you're so comfortable, taking on that opportunity, how important was it to have your partner in with that? She's moved over with you too as well, eh? Having that sort of support from home. How has that been for you?
Well, I've been with my missus since I was 16 years old. So I've been with her for a while. So she's always been the one that's been pushing me.
Yeah.
Even when I wanted to give up so many times of playing footy, she just always said, one day you'll get there, one day you'll get there.
Yeah.
And, it really helped because that first time, whenever she didn't come with me that first time.
Yeah.
But then she moved over, obviously, this year. But, having her around was a big help. She's always keeping me on my toes and making sure I'm eating my meals and all those things. So she definitely did really help me get to where I wanted to be. And you always hear people say, when you get to a point in your life where you got to take that jump. Mm. And that was where I was at, when I was comfortable, had a good job. I was playing for Norths, so I had, good income and all that stuff. But it was do I move over to England and just try and make a name for myself, or do I just stay back here and just cruise along,
Yeah.
And life was good, so I was like, man, stuff it. You know what? I'm just going to go over there. And she said, yep, let's do it. So, we went over there and, we're starting to build our life over there now.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. When I was like sort of doing some research before I come in, like it looks like you sort of found your place in like the role that you play for the team and just like feel comfortable within like your skin over there. And you're like, it's just like one of those things where it's been a couple of years now and you feel like you're getting used to sort of being there and like wanting to spend more time over there.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that was the biggest thing that was scary is going to a new team.
Yeah.
And then that having to adjust, you know, because each player, you know, is different to each other. So coming to that team, you know, I had to try to find my feet.
Yeah.
You know, where I'm gonna, you know, fit in the team and, you know, what roles I'm gonna you know, bring to the team. So, you know, it took a while, but in the end, you know, got there. So
Yeah.
you know, now, you know, I'm playing hooker and lock now, which I've always done in the past. But no, when I first got there, they threw me straight in the deep end because they had no hooker.
Yeah.
So I went straight in. I was playing like 80-minute games, like full games in Super League, and I couldn't believe it. Like, but getting thrown in the deep end was good for me because, you know, helped me develop more and helped with my fitness and game understanding and all that stuff. So it was good being thrown in the deep end.
For those that don't know, like, what's the Super League like? I personally don't know. Like, is the fan base there? Like, I'm pretty sure it would be big as what we have here with the NRL, hey?
Yeah, so the Super League's like the NRL, but in England. And they've got 12 teams in the Super League, and they're all around basically up north of England.
Yeah.
So there was one team, the London Broncos, which was on the south of England, but mainly rugby league's played up in the north.
Yeah.
And the fans there, they're crazy. They're the most passionate fans. I always refer to them like the PNG fans.
Yeah, yeah.
They're that passionate. They love rugby league, and they have these chants. They chant. They have this chant for me. It's because my last name's Horne, so they always say Horny, Horny, Horny. Oh, anywhere I go, like the fans will see me in the street, they'll just start saying Horny, Horny, Horny. And man, it's unreal, man. Like when you see thousands of people just chanting "Horny, Horny," it gives me goosebumps.
Yeah.
And I remember when I was like young, I used to go to the Broncos games and that. And when the players come around, you know, you used to be starstruck and you shake their hand, get a photo of them. And then now that, like, you know, I have an opportunity to do that now. I always take my time to go around and see all the kids, because I remember when I was a young kid, how much it meant to me when like a player would come to me and I got to meet him. I was starstruck and took a photo of him now. So that part's probably the best part is, you know, like just seeing how people react to seeing you. Yeah. You know, but before when I was in Australia, like no one would even care. Like, you know, I wouldn't get that. But going over there and seeing the fans and they've given me all this attention, like it just showed me, even in PNG, you know, how much people love you and praise you. It took a while to, you know, accept that because it was a bit weird. Yeah. You know, and then, but yeah, I love it, mate. And, you know, I love, you know, mingling with the fans and, you know, taking photos of them and, you know, having a chat to them because they love having a chat to you. Yeah. You know, they'll stand there they'll try to chew your ear off for 10 minutes. Yeah. You know, and I would just, you know, I love giving my time to them and just having a chat to them because the English people, they're awesome people. A lot of them are going to watch this podcast. Yeah, they're awesome. They're the best people ever.
Yeah. Fuck. So you stayed there for a couple of years. Did you, and then the opportunity to play for the Kumuls, that come off the back of the season that you had, like at the back end of last year, hey? And then, or you debuted here in, like when you were playing for Norths.
Yeah, I debuted when I was playing for Norths. Yeah, that call was pretty crazy actually. Yeah. So I think I was heading home from work. Yeah. And Coach Stan and Paul Ayton, they gave me a call. I was driving, I seen it on WhatsApp come up and I was like, who's this number? It said 675, you know, WhatsApp? Yeah. I was like, who's calling me from PNG? So I was like, what's going on? So I pulled up and I answered the phone and then he's hey Liam, how you going, mate? Blah, blah, blah. You know, we would like you to come down to Sydney to play in the test match against Fiji. At
Campbelltown, hey?
At Campbelltown.
Yeah.
And then, oh man, after the phone call, I stood there, I started crying in the car. I started crying, I called my missus straight away. I said, babe, I'm going to play for Kumuls. Because she knew, like, my whole footy career, that's all I ever wanted to do was play for the Kumuls. Like, even growing up, I didn't want to play NRL, I wanted to play for the Kumuls, you know, that was my number one goal. And my whole family knew, and when I told them, they were just, you know, so proud. And my family back home in PNG, you know, they always get around me. They've supported my whole rugby journey ever since, you know, I was, you know, a young kid. And even when I wasn't, like, even playing NRL or anything, they would just, you know, they would always support me and keep pushing me. And playing for the Kumuls just, you know, was a big thing for them, you know. They were just so proud that, you know, like, oh, my cousins, you know, my nephew's playing for the Kumuls now. So, And even going back there and playing in front of them for the first time.
Yeah.
Man, that was the best experience ever. Playing back home in PNG for the first time.
Yeah.
Just the crowd, the atmosphere. Man, and they had the big signs up for me and my family. So seeing them after the game was quite emotional. It was an unreal experience.
Yeah, I was going to touch on a little bit. Following your debut, we had the World Cup on that year too as well? Or was that... Cause
I think it was the same year, yeah.
Yeah, because there was some conjecture and like just wanted to get your opinion on it. Like around... Because I think you had played really good footy to deserve to be in that squad. Yeah. And then I think they picked the Hunters number 9 to sort of go in and play the number 9 position. And like, how did you kind of manage a setback like that to kind of want to get yourself back into the team following that? Because just work hard and...
Yeah, no, I always believed in like one door closes, another one opens.
Yeah.
So I didn't really think too much of it. Like I didn't want to dwell on it or, kick the shit with it. I just, got on with it, and I always knew that something else was going to come.
Yeah.
Well, that's what Mrs. was telling me. She said, another thing will come for you. And, ended up working out in the end. I went over to England and all that stuff. So, I always believe one door closes, another one opens. So, it all worked out in the end. And, I'm playing for the Kumuls now.
Yeah, exactly. No, that's it, man. Yeah. And what is this, like your cap 10?
I think I'm on 6, baby. 6, yeah. I'm getting there, not yet.
Yeah, I should have done that. No, I was just like, because last year you played in that Pacific Bowl too as well, and this is your second year, and 2 years in a row you guys have won. What is that felt like? And it's like, it's honestly like to beat a team like Fiji where they've had the wood on us for a little bit, hey?
Yeah. We're always underdogs going against Fiji.
Yeah.
And I always tell, put money on us. We're going to win. I tell everybody, put money on us. We're going to win. Because like when we're in the camp, we always know we're going to win. Like there's this feeling around the group where we're certain that we're going to win.
Yeah.
And we have this confidence. We have a really good culture within the team. Like we're very, very, very tight knit. Like even the local boys, the boys, Aussie-based boys, like some might think that but we're all one together. We're all very close to each other. So that's why, we play so good together. And we have, when we verse the Fijians, you can see the passion that we play with. It's because we're so close.
Yeah.
In these camps, we're spending weeks with each other.
Yeah.
And we're getting to know each other. We're playing games with each other. Yeah. We're just always together, and we've built that real tight-knit culture with each other. Yeah. And even the coaching staff too. We're all very close.
Yeah. No, because I was following the vlogs that you and Nene did, and there was a few games where you guys ate the hottest chips.
Yeah.
And then like there's like other where you watch a scary movie too as well, and you were off it, right?
Yeah, that hottest chip bun, man. It was pretty hot because I love chili food because my missus is from Laos in Asia.
Yeah, okay.
So she always eats chili food. So she's got me into chili food now. So I thought I could handle it. We played a card game to see who's going to eat the chip, and I lost. So I had to eat the chip, man. It was hot. My mouth was burning for ages. And in that scary movie, I don't do scary movies. I always tell people like it's not good for your soul to watch those movies. Especially those like ghost, paranormal, devil ones.
Yeah. Paranormal Activity 1 and 2.
I'm a bigger scaredy cat, man. I'm a bigger scaredy cat, man. So, and I said, I don't want to watch a devil movie in PNG.
Yeah. All the Sunday ones.
I said, man, I don't want to watch a devil movie here. Anyways, I'm trying to go up to the because the Stanley Hotels in the DC, City. So I'm trying to go up the elevator to go back to my room. And they just dragged me out. All of them grabbed me and they carried me through to the shopping centre. And I had no choice. And they bought my ticket and stuff. I was trying to run, but they already bought my ticket and drinks, so I had to watch it. It was Smile.
Yeah,
Smile 2. And man, that movie, I couldn't sleep that night. After watching that movie. So I'm never watching a scary movie again. But
because just looking at some of the videos that Nene was sharing and like just seeing how close you guys are, even like I think one of the instances where like you guys were riding at the back of the car and like just everyone just is the guy's name Chris? What's his role in the team? Because like Rachel, my partner, wanted to know like because he couldn't swim. Hey, you guys had to jump. My poor fella.
Chris, he's a king of 6 Mile. We call him the king of 6 Mile. Yeah, he's like he helps out with the water boy stuff.
Yeah.
Getting all the equipment and stuff ready for us.
Yeah.
So he's just a helper. He works at the Hunters too.
Yeah, okay.
He's a really good dude.
Yeah.
We love him. And the boys actually brought him over to Australia for the first time.
Yeah.
Because he hasn't been on a plane or like a long flight before, so all the boys get around him, and he's a really good bloke. Yeah, and he's really good to have around the team.
Yeah, just seeing the camaraderie and like everyone just got along with each other, and I guess like everyone has that same ambition of like just representing your PNG with a lot of pride.
Yeah.
Which you could see in the way, like even some of the tackles that I was seeing you put in that New Zealand game, like you just gave your 100%. Hey, like and representing PNG, like you always want to put your best foot forward, and like everyone just wears that jumper. You turn into something different. Hey.
Yeah, well, we always say when you put that Kumuls jumper on, you grow 10 feet taller. You know, you just feel like Superman.
Yeah.
You know, you feel like you can just do anything. And like in these camps, when we get our jerseys, you know, the boys, you know, everyone gets to talk about, you know, how much that jersey means to them.
Yeah.
And for a lot of boys, it means everything, you know, especially for the boys that have grown up in PNG and they've come through, you know, Digicel Cup to the Hunters. Like, it's very hard to get to that point, you know, to play for the Kumuls, and then they know how much, you know, playing for the Kumuls, the exposure it gives you, you know.
Yeah.
Well, that's where Castleford actually found me, was playing for the Kumuls.
Yeah, yeah.
So a lot of us get our exposure from the Kumuls, and that's how we get these opportunities to go NRL, into Super League, and into, you know, France. Some of the boys are playing in France now. It's from the Kumuls. So we owe a lot to Kumuls, and we know how much, you know, the Kumuls means to the country. You know, I heard a story when we lost to Fiji one time, up in the corporate box there, all like the businessmen were crying because we lost. Yeah. And you know, when we lose, the nation's sad, you know, because everyone's watching the game.
Yeah.
You know, there's how many people in PNG now?
I reckon
over 10
11, 12 million,
You know, there's a good chunk of that population that are watching this game.
Yeah.
So, you know, we've got to understand that we have a duty to, you know, represent, you know, our country well, and you know, when we win, and that's how we play in the games, you know, knowing that, you know, there's 10 million people behind us watching us, you know, wanting us to win. So we take that energy into the games.
Yeah, fuck. And then just wrapping up with the Pacific Bowl and stuff like that, you guys had the opportunity to play New Zealand and like have the crack at them, which I thought the team was very competitive, and like literally we were doing so well, like to kind of be, and even like competing on everything, which was like, I mean, I'm not in a position to kind of talk about it in the expert point of view, but like how did that game sort of rank for you, and like what were some of the learnings that you took from playing a team like that? Yeah,
it was a really good experience. Like us early on in the game, you know, we had our opportunities.
Yeah.
You know, that disallowed try, but you know, Reece Martin's try, and then my
the ball
try,
you gave. Oh yeah.
No, the one how Lockie Lamb kicked it, got it in.
Yeah.
All I had to do was just pick it up, and that try still haunts me till this day. But you know, that's rugby league, and you know, for a couple of days I was a bit sad, but you know, you got to learn to move on from those things. And you know, I just look back at those couple opportunities, especially at that time of the game. You know, if we scored those tries, maybe we had a chance. But yeah, it's just good to see where we're at.
Yeah.
You know, versing a tier 1 nation.
Yeah.
And I hope we get more opportunities in the future to, you know, verse those tier 1 nations to see where we're at. But we're building very, very nicely.
Yeah. Yep.
You know, we've got a lot of good talent coming through, and a lot of our, you know, big names like Olam and Alex were injured.
Yeah.
So, you know, that plays a big part in it. But we did have boys there that could cover those roles. So that's a good thing now that PNG has, is we've got depth.
Yep.
Whereas in the past, you know, we didn't really have that depth, but now we do.
Yep.
So that's a really good thing, because, you know, you see teams like Australia and New Zealand, they've got this massive talent pool to pick from. Whereas PNG in the past, you know, didn't have that massive talent pool. But now, you know, we've got this massive, you know, big talent pool that's getting bigger to choose from. So that's a really good thing for PNG Rugby League.
Yeah. No, that's honestly so good to hear. And like the average age of the squad's quite like young. You're only 26, are you? Or 27?
26,
yeah. So like even the team, like, it's like you're building from like the younger people coming through, and like Robert Derby, he's like also like 19.
Yeah, he's 22, I think.
22, sorry. Yeah. But like just having that young team, like getting that experience younger, just creating that longevity in the game would definitely help with the experience moving forward, hey?
Yeah, 100%. We've got some really good young talent in there.
Yeah.
You know, young Judah Rimbu.
Yes.
He's now coming over to Castleford with me now.
Yeah.
You know, Sly.
Yeah, yes.
He's one of those players that, you know,
he's a tank, eh?
He's a tank, man. He's unreal.
You gave him that ball and he crossed underneath the...
Remember against... Who was it against? It was against... maybe against Cook Islands. Me and him were on the 10 meter line, and then he told me to run the lead. I said, no, you run the lead. He was getting angry at me. He's like, no. And then I pushed him in front, and then when he scored the try, I said, see, I told you. Yeah. Because I know he's trying to go out the back so he can be like, I said, bro, you're bigger than me. You get in the front. And then Judah gave him the ball and he scored. And I said, see? Listen to me, bro.
Bro, this insights is actually so great to just kind of get behind the scenes stuff on how things are going, man. Oh, fuck. So you're in Brisbane now for a little bit, like spending some time with some family and stuff. How long are you here for before you head back?
So I'm leaving after Christmas.
Yeah.
So I've just been hanging around with family, going fishing.
Yeah. Playing some golf?
Oh, I'm playing golf on Thursday with a few mates just down the road there. Nudgy?
There's Virginia there.
Virginia golf.
Yeah.
So I'm playing on Thursday. I'm going into train with the North Devils tomorrow.
Yeah, okay.
Just to keep fit because, man, I've been eating
that chocolate sundae.
That's that chocolate here. Because they got no Guzman Gomez over in England.
Yeah.
So I love Guzman Gomez. So when I came back, man, I've just been eating that.
Oh, because you put that in they asked you about you, what's your favourite takeaway?
Yeah.
And when you first started, and then you...
Guzman Gomez, I love GYG. Hopefully they can get a sponsorship for me.
GYG, if you're listening.
Yeah. But it's been good being back. I definitely miss the sun and the family. That's the main thing, missing the family, because me and my missus are big family people. So going over there by ourselves was quite hard, but coming back now, you don't realise how much your family means to you until you're isolated away from everyone. Yeah. So coming back home was just really good to sit down with my family and really get to spend some quality time with them. Yeah,
because I did see during the Pacific Bowl Championship, you had some time to come back here and you played golf with your younger brother.
Yeah.
And you guys tied that whole A.
Yeah, well,
the whole 9 or 18?
So he plays golf every day after school. He loves golf. Yeah. So I told him I don't play often. I play like once or twice a month. Yeah. And I told him, I said, hey, let's go golf. $100. If you beat me, I'll give you $100. Or like if I beat him, he gives me $100. Yeah. So anyways, I ended up beating him, and then I gave him like 2 opportunities to try and come back and beat me, but he didn't get it. Like I was like, bro, you play golf every day. I play like once a month, and I came in and smashed you. He was so filthy. So anyways, he had to give me 100. I said 100 cash. 100 cash. He shook my hand. I said, you have to honour it as a man. Yeah. He didn't want to give it to me. He's trying to give me a Westfield gift card. I said, brother, no, this is not how it works, mate. You have to give me cash. Oh, but no, it's good fun.
Well, speaking of your brother, like he represented the PNG Kumuls too as well. Yeah. And he's in the development squad for the Broncos at the moment too as well. And how old is he? Like 16?
He's 16 now.
Fuck.
Yeah, he's a really good talent.
Yeah.
Yeah, he played for the Junior Kumuls, which was one of his goals growing up. Yeah. And man, it was such a proud moment for him. Yeah. To finally go back to PNG for the first time. Yeah. Because he's never been back there, so going back there and seeing our family, because he's never met any of our cousins, and he's only met some of them, like our aunties and that. But just going back and seeing our family and seeing where part of his culture and all that was eye opening for him. And I always tell him, like, my first time going back to PNG, I was 19 or 20. I took Mrs. back to my village, and I said it was the most humbling experience I've ever had. Yeah. From growing up in Australia. Yeah. And having everything, all the resources that we have here, education and healthcare and all those things that we have, and all these pathways. And I said, wait till you get back to PNG and you'll see how lucky you are to live in Australia. Yeah. So him going back there, it really opened up his eyes, and I could tell that it really affected him, and he was a very humbling experience for him. Yeah,
that's another thing for like everyone too as well. Like we get so caught up in like living the life that we have here now, and we're so grateful for it. But sometimes it's just like we forget what it's like to the struggles that everyone goes back. And I think in your position where you've gone back home and like to your point around you giving time back to the people, and like when I was like seeing some of the videos that you guys shared, like, despite the fact that some people might not have a lot, like they got to meet Liam Horne or they got to meet Nene McDonald. So I think like having that perspective of you going back, and then your prison visit too as well, like going to Bowana and stuff, like things like that would definitely, like, it's humbling in a way because it just grounds you. And like over here, everyone gets caught up in the little things, and they forget that like some people don't really have a lot to kind of.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I noticed was just going back to the village and just seeing people's simple way of life.
Yeah.
You know, they go fishing, they grow their fruit and vegetables in the garden, and to be honest, those people back there are happier than the people that are working, you know, the 9 to 5, you know, in that rat race sometimes.
Yeah.
And I always wondered, like, going back there and just seeing how happy people were with, you know, they don't have much, but they're so happy.
Yeah.
And, like, and then they come back here and I see people working and they're just miserable. And that just baffled me sometimes, like. But then again, like, you know, I guess that life, you know, that's all you know.
Yeah,
and
that's
my mum,
true.
you know, she grew up.
That's so true.
My grandfather was a turtle hunter back in Hula, and that's how he made his money, you know, and put all my mum's aunties through school and all that stuff. But now, you know, obviously turtles are now endangered now, so we can't be eating those anymore.
No, but
on special occasions. But just seeing, like, listening to my mum's stories about, you know, her upbringing and back in PNG, because my mum left PNG and she hasn't been back since I left in 1999.
Yeah.
So so when I went back with my missus, you know, she was very proud of that, and to go back to her village in Hula and to see our family home that my grandfather built, and just to see, you know, all the stories that she told me about growing up of her going fishing. And I actually went to one of the markets that they used to go sell the turtles at.
Quickie.
So going back there and just seeing that, man, just you know, that work ethic that, you know, my grandfather had, and you know. Yeah, it was just really amazing to see that.
Yeah. Awesome, man. Well, yeah, like, so you're spending Christmas over here with a few of your family, and you bought us some gifts from your auntie's business. Yeah. Tell us a little bit about that, because these water bottlers are pretty sick, eh? Like, I think my one I'm going to throw away, and I'm going to use this one from now.
Yeah. So just think of, like, you know, a Stanley bottle. That's like a Kia.
Yeah.
And this bottle here, this is like a Lamborghini. Yeah, so it's called Impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a really good bottle. Keeps your water insulated. Whatever you want to put in here, keeps it insulated up to, I think, 10 hours or even longer.
Yeah.
I've put ice in it and water, and left it in my car, and came back to it and there's still ice in there. So it lasts a long time, and it's really sturdy. It's a really good bottle. So
yeah, no, thanks.
Impressive. Yeah,
thank you so much, bro. Fuck. Really appreciate it, man. Like, honestly, like, thank you so much for jumping on. What's next for you now? Like, I guess any advice that, not what next, but any advice that I guess you wanted to pass on to the younger people that are listening to the podcast that might want to follow in your footstep. And I know you touched on education being a big piece of, like, you know, the puzzle in terms of what you've been able to do now. So, like, if there's anything that you wanted to share on that line. Yeah,
for sure. Like, when I was after high school, you know, I was doing just the odd jobs here and there, and I remember someone telling me just to get a trade, just to do something, because you know, rugby league's not going to be there forever. Yeah. So that's why I chose to be a sparky. Because my dad's a sparky, but I was like, it's a good trade to do. So I chose to be a sparky because I know that, you know, rugby league is a short life. I could get a career-ending injury, and then that's it. I'm done after. You know what I'm going to do after that. So there's always good to have a backup plan or something to fall back on, because, you know, rugby league's, you know, the span of it is only, you know, you can only play till, some people can only play till 30. Yeah. You know, if you're even lucky, you can play till 35. Yeah. But it's a short career, and some people don't realise, you know, life after footy. Yeah. You know, you see a lot of, you know, players that struggle with life after footy, especially your identity, especially when you've been in rugby league your whole life, and everyone that knows you as a rugby league player. And then when you lose all that, you know, you lose that identity. So, you know, I'll try not get caught up in, you know, just being a rugby player. Awesome. So trying to, you know, venture out and try to do some other things, you know. And then it really inspired me to do vlogging. Stay tuned. I want to start vlogging. Can you vlog your golf day on Thursday? I'll try. Right, that'd be sick, eh? I'm going to try get into vlogging now. So do a YouTube channel like Nene, because it really inspired me to do that. But yeah, education for one, and another thing, I'm a big believer in like, if something's going to happen for you, it's going to happen. Yeah. For a long time, like, I always thought, like, am I ever going to make it, like, the professional footy? Am I ever going to get there? Like, is it ever going to work? But eventually, you know, just trust your intuition, and, you know, eventually it does happen. Because, man, this is crazy, but I used to, like, have, like, dreams, and then, like, these dreams would come true. Yeah. Like, I remember I had this dream. I was, like, sitting in the sheds after the Kumuls game. And then I remember remember being in the sheds and just remembering like, oh, I swear I dreamt of this. I don't know if that's like
like deja vu
type thing, but like some weird things like that. Like over my whole life and career, I've had these dreams and then these moments, and then I'm like, man, I swear I've been here. Like it's just a reminder that this is where I'm meant to be in this present time. So that's I'm a big believer in like following intuition and a bit spiritual too. So
that's honestly like the best piece of feedback, because sometimes like you may not think like the position that you're in right now is the right thing for you, but you're meant to be there, like, you know, and like you, by being there, like you're learning everything in that moment, which then allows you to go forward. And I think one of the biggest things that really stuck with me when I was like asked, what would you tell your younger self when we did that thing, was like I was so caught up in wanting to be like, what's next, instead of just enjoying the moment and being like,
being present.
Which sometimes like we forget so much when we're doing the day to like the 9 to 5 and all those things, that we forget about just taking a step back and just be like, fuck, like I'm grateful to be here. Like I've got a job, I've got these things where I'm just so, I just need to enjoy the moment and like sort of be present, like you were saying.
100%.
Fuck. Well, bro, that wraps us up for today. And like, honestly, thank you so much, Liam, for jumping on, bro. Good to catch up. Like, fuck, remember seeing you back at catching the train and fucking, like chilling, like back in the Wavell days. And then like now seeing you do some amazing things, bro. Honestly, like, really, really sort of like good to see what you're doing. And like you represented PNG really well over the championship, Pacific Bowl Championship. And like, just doing really well for yourself, bro. So keep it up.
Thank you, boys. Thanks for having me on the podcast. I just want to say a shout out to all my PNG boys that I grew up with that, you know, went on different paths in life and stuff like that. I still remember you boys, and I love you and I'm proud of you.